You're watching WCSD Cable Television from Calloway County High School.
Well, it's a new month. That means it's time for a new Sheriff Report. Hi, I'm Bradley Smith here at Calloway County High School with Sheriff Sam Steger for this month of May's Calloway County Sheriff Report. It's good to have you with us, Sheriff
Thanks, Bradley.
Steger.
You too. Glad to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Well, we're going into the summer months here, and we know that many high schoolers begin to have parties during the summer. And many times we see that parents may provide alcohol for these parties. Do you have any warning to these parents about what might could happen?
Sure. I think, the last couple of months of the school, we get into the prom season, and this is when we really start talking about this graduation, and now all your kids are out for the summer, and they're wanting to all get together and have a good time at somebody's house. And we see it all too often that I want to call them the cool parents. They want to be, they want to be friends with the kids and all that stuff, and we find that they tend to, give the kids some alcohol, thinking they won't go anywhere, and winds up somebody's gotten out of the house because they can't supervise 100 kids that they've invited over, and it turns into problems. The kids get out there, they've been drinking, they have a wreck. They show up back at their own home, and their parents see that they've been drinking. When we just encourage the parents, hey, if you're gonna have a gathering at your house, obviously we don't want the alcohol there, because the kids a lot of kids at that age think, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna get my first drink or whatever, and the parents are responsible there. There's a lot of liability that goes along with that whenever you decide to give a child a drink of alcohol. Now, parents can, if you choose to give your own child a drink of alcohol, there's nothing in the law that prohibits that. What is prohibited is when you give a drink of alcohol to another child. Of course, we don't want anybody to drink alcohol until they're the legal age of 21. So we do run into that this time of the year, and like I say, you got graduation coming up here next week. I hope everybody attends a project graduation, to stay away from those type of situations. Project graduation was designed to keep that kind of type of thing from happening. So and it's been very successful over the several years that we've had it. So I encourage you to go to project graduation, and parents, just keep your alcohol to yourself. Don't be sharing it with the kids coming over.
All right, so we see not only some serious risk for the kids, but the parents as well as a result.
Absolutely,
of that.
Yeah. The parents are responsible there. When we go out, and it happens more often than you would think. When we get out there, it's not the kids that we cite; it's the parents that we cite. They're under their supervision, and they're, as a parent myself, they're my responsibility when they're under my house.
All right, and kind of keeping with the summer theme, a lot of people go away for vacation. What are some tips that some people might need to protect their house or their cars from theft?
Sure. As equally as important as the regular burglaries and thefts that we have, people leave this time of the year to go on vacations, like you said. What we encourage to do is, obviously, if you can afford to have a alarm system installed or something of that nature, it is great. But like myself, a lot of us don't have that type of we don't have access to that. So always we want to make sure our doors are locked, your garage doors are down. Just basic security type things that you would normally do. Just make sure everything's secure. Leaving your windows up. If you're going to leave those up, make sure it has some kind of secure screen on it. Now, for those people going on vacation, what we do at the sheriff's office is I have a log, and that we keep. You can call down to the office. You can say, hey, we're going to be gone from June 1st to June 15th. And all you have to do is come down, you fill out your information on that log, and we'll put extra patrol in your house. We'll go by, check, make sure everything's still secure on it. You'll leave us your contact information so we can know how to get a hold of you in case there is a problem there. So that is that's one thing we do provide to the citizens of Calloway County, is just a little bit extra security when you are gone for that lengthy period of time. So I'd encourage you to call the SO down at the office, 753-3151, and just tell the dispatcher what you're looking to get done.
All right. Well, that certainly gives some people an extra sense of security when they're gone.
Sure.
We've got one more question before we go to our break here. If you could maybe talk about some of the concealed and open carry laws here in Kentucky.
Yeah, we get a lot of calls on carrying concealed weapons and where they can and can't pack them, and who can and who can't. And so it's really fairly simple. If you are 18 and up, anybody can carry a weapon, all right, as long as you're not a convicted felon or something like that that prohibits that. But just your ordinary citizen that has no criminal history that would prevent that, anybody over the age of 18 can carry a weapon in the open. Now, you can't carry it in concealed until you are 21 years old, and you have to pass the carrying concealed deadly weapon course and have your background completed by the Kentucky State Police background. They handle all the carrying concealed deadly weapon stuff in Frankfort, but it goes through my office. So we handle all of the permits and the registration for the carrying concealed. Another big question we get is where in your vehicle can you carry it and where it's open? Well, anywhere that's visible to the eye is in what's called plain view. That is open. You can carry a weapon anywhere you want to right there. The only exception to being what you might think would be concealed is a glove compartment. All right, you can carry a weapon in a manufactured glove compartment that is like in front of the passenger seat. That's not including a console. All right, you can't carry it in a console. All right, but in a manufactured glove compartment is not carrying concealed, so any person can carry it there as well. Now, my advice to those people that are packing, it's always a courtesy if you get stopped by the police to say, just right off the bat, hey, I've got a weapon on me or I've got a weapon in my vehicle. Tell them where it is. Don't make any don't make any sudden movements for it. Just say, hey, I've got a weapon in the glove box. I need to get in there to get my insurance card or something. And that officer's going to work out getting the weapon out of there safely and before anything disastrous happens. So that's basically the basis of the carrying concealed. Now, as far as traveling out of state, we get that a lot. Hey, can I carry into Tennessee? Can I carry into Illinois, Missouri? What I encourage everybody to do is to call that state police in that particular state and make sure that they are reciprocators of our carrying concealed. And like some states want you to be concealed. Their law doesn't allow you to carry open. So I encourage everybody to just make that phone call to their state police of that state, and they can tell you, hey, yeah, you can carry here, but it's got to be concealed, or it can be or can't be in the glove box, or it can be on your side. So that's what I encourage those to do when they're leaving the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
All right, well, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and coming up after that, we'll have some more information about the summer as well as our Fugitive of the Month. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with this month's Sheriff's Report.
Todd's a great guy.
So we're going to start with maybe some laws about
look at him.
That most people don't know.
What a sweetheart.
But maybe some people just don't think.
Attaboy.
Some summer program.
Wait,
about the ranch,
Todd,
police trooper out,
what are you doing?
Basketball camp. We had a ton of
How
camps
totally
going on.
selfish and un-Todd-like of you.
All right.
Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back to the May edition of Sheriff's Report. We're joined, of course, by Sheriff Sam Steger. And Sheriff Steger, if you would, maybe just tell us some laws about the lake that some people might not think about. We see a lot of people going out there during the summer.
Sure, yes. because so much of our county borders the lake, there's a lot of us that go down there. I love the lake, and the weekends we're down there about every weekend during the summer. And you know, a lot of boating laws are about the same like your, you know, as your vehicle. All the registration laws, your boat has to be registered properly. The drinking and driving, you can't be, there's a BUI, boating under the influence, just like there is with the DUI of driving under the influence. There's a lot of safety factors as far as how many life jackets need to be on a boat, a life preserver, a horn. So a lot of your boating laws kind of line up with what your vehicle laws are here in Kentucky. I always encourage, my kids are on the lake, like I say, with me about every weekend, and I encourage them to always have their life jacket on. And I don't know right off the top of my head, but at some age, at maybe 6 or 8, a child has to have a life jacket on in order to be out there. But you know, a lot of the laws do coincide with our vehicle laws here in the Commonwealth. One thing, you know, the lake, although it's a great place to be, it can also be a dangerous place. In my career, I've unfortunately had to work a number of drownings, and what people don't understand is the lake, because of the muckiness of it, because of the low visibility of it, it's not like swimming in your swimming pool. You get a cramp in your leg, and you're in a clear swimming pool where somebody can see you. You know, that's sometimes not a big issue because you have several people there, they can get to you very quickly. When you get below you know, 8, 10, 12 inches in a lake, you've lost visibility of that person. And because the lake current moves so much, that body is easily swayed or, you know, towed one way or the other. So that's what we see is somebody goes under, and that's the last you see of them because of the tow, because they don't have a life preserver on. And it's just a different animal out there being on the lake as opposed to being in a pool. So I just encourage everybody to wear a life jacket when you're out there on the water, you know, especially when you're in the water. If you're in the water, you need some kind of life preserver on. Of course, we see the canoes, the little canoes are very popular now. You know, they're easily to turn over, and you know, I just encourage everybody to be safe when you're out there. Look at your boating laws when you go out there, and before you get that boat going, make sure it's safe, make sure it has everything on it to protect everybody.
So the lake can be a fun place, but it can also be a dangerous one too if you're not safe. It can be a safe
but dangerous place. That's right. Yeah, of course, the alcohol is always a factor. We always see boating accidents every year where somebody is, you know, under the influence and makes a bad drive. They hit a wall or hit another boat or doing something crazy and they fall off, and you know, it can be dangerous. But I love the lake, and I want to see it as safe as we can make it.
All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Could you maybe tell us about some summer programs that the Sheriff's Office is involved in?
Absolutely. Of course, I always pitch for the Sheriff's Ranch. It's right here in our backyard in Marshall County. And we send 10 kids a summer up there to that camp. We'll be sending a group the end of June, last week of June, the first week of July. And it's great mentoring for our young people. And we love it. We do a lot of work up there. It's a great place. Tracy and Lisa and all of them do a great job up there. And then, of course, we have the State Police has their Trooper Island. When I was with State Police, I was a big part of that. Great camp over on Dale Hall Lake in eastern Kentucky. Great place for the kids, just like the Sheriff's Ranch camp is. And then, of course, I mean, you see the signs all around town. We have the Murray State basketball camps. You know, all the football and basketball coaches have their own camps here. It's great to get our kids involved in that and get them out into the community and involved in something for the summer. Don't let your child lay around all summer and do nothing. Get them involved in something. Get them out. And we see that when kids are involved in stuff like that, it tends to keep them you know, really out of trouble. You know, keeps them busy.
And speaking of staying out of trouble during the summer, what are some things that maybe you see an increase in during the summer?
We usually see, you know, an increase in, of course, our thefts are always, more people are out in the summer. So, you know, we do see an increase in some thefts. We see an increase, you know, some drinking and driving, and more kind of a driving issues, I guess, than anything. Everybody gets the top pulled down and they're ready to go. Of course, As far as those go, our motorcycles are out now for the summer. Everybody's riding their bikes and running, so it's easy to see an increase maybe in collisions. But just be mindful of those particular things. Our farm implements are out. Crops, they're trying to get their crops in the ground and then harvested, in early June for some wheat and stuff. So that's kind of what we see an increase in, just some type of mischief type complaints,
All right, and you had mentioned before we started about how you wanted to talk about how to spot if your neighbor has a meth lab in their home.
Sure, yeah. We see an increase right now of heroin. Of course, our meth problem is terrible. That's probably our #1 problem here in Calloway County. And one thing that we do is I try to teach people what to look for. Basically, what's happened is, and I think you may have a picture of a meth lab that was an older meth lab, is how they used to do it. It took several steps to make a batch of methamphetamine. But like everything else, the meth makers have transitioned that into combining ingredients. Now what we see is it's called a one-step method, whereas they take a Coke bottle, 2-liter Coke bottle, and they combine everything in that one bottle, and then they shake it up, and they let that sit. And ever so often they have to come, and like you see there, all them ingredients on that table right there now are combined into one 2-liter bottle, and does it all in one step. You don't have the burners and all that stuff like you used to. They put the lithium and the ephedrine and everything in one bottle, and it is very dangerous, very explosive, very hazardous to your health. I just can't tell people how dangerous the meth labs are. Cause a fire in just a minute. Especially, they have to what's called burp the container. Those fumes and stuff, the gases build, and they do everything but explode. But if you do not burp that bottle and let the gases off of it, it does explode, and that's when we see our fires and house fires to where people have been cooking, inside their residence. Very dangerous. Don't know why anybody would want to put that in their body, but it's just a terrible thing that's been developed, and I hate it. But we fight it every day.
All right, and we're about to close out, but before we do, could you maybe tell us about our Fugitive of the Month?
Sure.
This month?
Our Fugitive of the Month this month is Mr. Jared Belcher. Mr. Belcher has 5 outstanding bench warrants for, manufacturing methamphetamine, possession of meth, leaving the scene of an accident. He's got a couple of probation violation warrants stemming back, I believe, from 2012 and then again in 2016. So we're looking for Mr. Belcher. Mr. Belcher has a previous address of Applewood Drive, which is down on 121 south of town. Sunny Lane, which is, I believe, in the city limits there. So we're not sure exactly where Mr. Belcher is, but again, if you have any information on him, please give us a call. You can call Crime Stoppers, 270-753-9500. And if your information leads to the arrest of Mr. Belcher, you will be eligible for a cash reward.
All right, Sheriff Steger, we want to thank you not only for joining us, but for your for your service to the community as well.
Thank you.
It's been nice having you with us this year on the Sheriff Report. Absolutely. And we'd like to thank all of our viewers as well for joining us this year. This is Bradley Smith signing off with the May edition of the Sheriff Report.